Hey, what's up all you Ultimate Gamers? If you can tell by the intro, I did. Well, partly I did. That the other part wasn't mine. All the rights to Judgment Day. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That goes to Judgment Day. The slides that says Terminator, what it says, Ultimate Gamer 2004 and Terminator ranking. That I did. The other parts I did not do. That goes to Judgment Day. I was doing fair use. I couldn't do the whole intro because I didn't want to get copyrighted, so I did my best. So, alright, well, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this. Okay, so coming in last place, my least favorite Terminator movie, Terminator Genisys. This movie, honestly, it's watchable. Like, I can watch it, but in all, it's my least favorite Terminator movie because it's filled with a bunch of gosh darn what-if scenarios. Like, if you haven't seen Terminator Genisys or any of the Terminator movies, be aware this will contain spoilers. No, not to Dark Fate, because I've not seen that yet, so don't worry. So if you haven't seen Dark Fate and you're worried that you're going to get spoilers for that movie, don't worry. You're safe. I have not seen Dark Fate yet, and I won't give you spoilers. Or if I ever did, I would warn you. Okay? Alright, so, the reason I hate this movie, like I said, it's filled with a bunch of gosh darn what-if scenarios. It erases the whole franchise, pretty much. It erases the first movie, second movie, third movie, fourth movie. And now this is the fifth one here, so... Dark Fate erases, 3, 4, and 5. In case you guys didn't know, I really like Terminator 3 and 4. 3 was actually my favorite Terminator movie. If you have a different opinion, I respect your opinion. It's fine. I like Terminator 3. I just thought it was a good movie. I didn't think it was terrible. Salvation, it wasn't as good, but it wasn't terrible. It was a good movie, in my opinion. This, I can understand why people hate it. It's filled with a bunch of gosh darn what-if scenarios. Like, it erases the whole franchise, like I said. Pretty much, here's what they do. They like do this. What if, basically in this movie, Sarah Connor, when she's younger, you know how in the original first Terminator movie, Kyle Reese sent her back to protect her because the Terminator went to go kill her? Well, now it's all changed. Some Terminator went to go kill her as a little girl, and now a T-800 went back to protect Sarah Connor. Oh my gosh, an old Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. My gosh. Basically, it's like, what if Sarah Connor was raised by a Terminator? That wasn't a good idea. Then it was like, what if John Connor was a Terminator? That I really did not like. What they did to John Connor in this movie by making him a Terminator, I thought that was dumb. That was a terrible idea. Worst idea, in my opinion. If you have a different opinion, I respect your opinion. If you like Terminator Genisys, perfectly fine. Well, also, I hate the actor who plays John Connor in this movie. If you like him, it's fine. I respect your opinion. In my opinion, I think he's the worst John Connor I've seen. I really don't like him. Christian Bale was good as John Connor in Salvation. He was a good actor for 2009. I can understand because he did good in his Batman movie. He was a great Bruce Wayne. I think he would have made a great John Connor at that time. But, like I said, this movie's filled with a bunch of different what-if scenarios, like you heard earlier for like the 100th time. Yeah, what they did to John Connor, they say, what if he was a Terminator, which was a bad idea. Sarah Connor being raised by a Terminator, that's not a good idea either. And now, like, it's saying, you know, Kyle Reese was supposed to protect her. Now it's making it look like Sarah Connor is protecting Kyle Reese, which was a terrible idea. And then there was also a bunch of other stuff that I didn't like. Like, oh yeah, like this one epic scene, this was my favorite scene in the movie, where old Arnold fights, new Arnold. Well, the older Arnold fights the younger Arnold from Terminator 1. Honestly, that scene was cool, but I don't think we needed it. I don't think Terminator Genesis could have had potential. It could have had a lot of potential, actually, but it did a mild spoiler in the trailer. They made a big mistake, like what Salvation did. Like, in Salvation, Marcus is turned out to be a Terminator. And it's supposed to be surprising. But when you watch the trailer, they show that. And in the movie, they act like it's a surprise, but it's not. It's a mild spoiler. I hate it when trailers do that. This trailer for this did that too. They showed John Connor becoming a Terminator. I mean, that wasn't so much of a spoiler, but actually, yeah, it was. Because they tried to make it surprising. I wasn't surprised by that. I thought it was dumb. When I saw it in the trailer, I thought it was stupid. When I saw it now, I still think it's stupid. This is still the worst Terminator. This is the worst Terminator movie I've ever seen. James Cameron said, "You are going to love this movie." In my opinion, about half of you watching this video are going to hate this movie. James Cameron, I'm just glad he fixed the mistake. He didn't make this movie. He's the producer of Terminator 1 and 2. Wait, no, James Cameron? Never mind. He's the director of Terminator 1 and 2. My bad. He's the director, it says. Yeah, I believe he's director. But he produces Dark Fate. He fixes this mistake. He fixes all the mistakes. Honestly, the biggest mistake, in my opinion, is this. He could have just erased this movie, but it's fine. If you choose to erase Terminator 3 and 4 because other people hated it. Honestly, a lot of people didn't hate the third movie. A lot of people thought it was a pretty okay movie. I liked it personally. Sunglasses. Wait, what was it? Oh yeah, Star Sunglasses, Terminator. I love that scene. That was hilarious. Also, Arnold's famous scene where he's like, "Talk to the hand." I thought that was funny. That was a good idea. Well, in all, this movie was not very good. I wouldn't recommend watching it unless you really want to see what this movie's like. Honestly, I would not recommend it. It's a horrible movie. Or if you just want to watch all the Terminator movies, it's just a terrible movie. I mean, it's watchable. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like bored or something and you want to watch this, I mean, it's a fun movie to watch. But you know what I'm saying? It's fun to watch, but here's what I'm trying to say. It's fun to watch, but in all, everything about it is just terrible. The action is fun, everything about it's fun to watch, but the choices they made, they're terrible. Basically, when I was watching this movie, I was constantly shaking my head about everything. The action scenes were cool, so, like, a lot of scenes were cool. It was a cool movie, but it's just filled with a bunch of what-if scenarios, and nobody wanted that. So, Terminator Genesis, worst movie in the franchise. Alright, coming in at number 4, the original Terminator. I know you guys are probably like, the original Terminator? What? I know what you're thinking. Why is the original Terminator in 4th place? Well, hate to say it, but, I'm joking. It's a terrible movie. I'm joking. I'm kidding. Kidding. It's not a terrible movie. Terminator 1984 version, the 1984 movie. That movie, it's a good movie. It's really good. It's the original. Did you guys really think I was going to hate that movie? No, I'm not. It's only in 4th place because, honestly, I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. It's just in 4th place because it's just not my favorite Terminator movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, yeah. But, is it my favorite Terminator movie? No. My favorite Terminator movie is Terminator 3. My opinion is because the Terminator is bad in this movie. If you guys disagree with that, that's fine. I just didn't like it as much because the Terminator was bad. Because when I always thought of the Terminator, I thought he was a good guy because I saw him with young John Connor and I thought he was a good guy. So when I watched this movie and I saw him shooting up a bunch of people, that confused me. But then I realized, oh, so because that was a different Terminator. The other T-800 is a different Terminator. It's just a duplicate of that Terminator. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, in all, this movie was a really good movie. Yeah, it's a good movie, but the effects aren't very good. But for its time, I'm pretty surprised. Like with Star Wars Episode 4, some of the effects were bad. Like with George Lucas's original Star Wars movie. Some of the effects were really bad. This movie has better effects than that, but the thing is, I believe, yeah, Star Wars, I believe, is older than this. Yeah, older than Terminator. I think, did it come out in the, yeah, I believe it's older. Let me check on that. Give me a sec. Okay, let me check on that. Star Wars Episode 4 release. Yeah, it's older. It's a 70s movie. I believe. Yeah, I realized that it is older. I believe it was older, and I was right. So, the effects for this movie were pretty good for its time. I was amazed by the effects for this movie for its time. But there was effects that I shook my head at because, I mean, back then they didn't have CGI. Well, they had CGI, just it wasn't a lot for its time. Like, back then, they used a lot of mannequins and stuff. Like, there was this one part where Arnold was, taking out his eye. It looked really bad, and I could tell it was a mannequin. The mannequin looked nothing like him. I could tell it was a mannequin. I understand it was 1980s, but, yeah, it looked really bad, but it was 1980s, people, so don't get all mad at it. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying it didn't look good, but I can understand why, because it's an old movie. Considering now it's 2019, 2020, close to it. Like in a couple of months, it's gonna be 2020. So, for its time, not a bad movie. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Okay, coming in third place, Terminator Salvation. I got the director's cut. Director's cut is, there's barely any other scenes. It's a little bit better than Terminator Salvation, the regular film. I like Terminator Salvation, but the thing is, it's a little bit better than that version, the regular theatrical version. But really, I don't think it should have been rated R for a director's cut, because there's literally barely any language, and it's not very violent. They only added like a couple of scenes, and they're not bad. Okay, anyways, this movie and all was good. I really liked Terminator Salvation. If you guys didn't like it, perfectly fine. Respect your opinion. I respect all your opinions. I said that at the beginning of the video. Like 100 times. Okay, so it has Christian Bale as John Connor. He's pretty good as John Connor. But Christian Bale, if you haven't watched the video of him freaking out on set, he's freaked out a bunch of times. If you guys haven't watched that, look it up. Look up Christian Bale freaking out on set for Terminator Salvation. He freaked out a bunch of times. And Christian Bale, he's a pretty good actor. I've seen his movies. I saw him in Batman, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. He was great as Batman, and he was great as John Connor in this movie, in my opinion. For 2009, anyway. So, John Connor was good in this movie. He was a good John Connor for Christian Bale. And then the other guy, Sam Worthington. You may know him. I believe he was Morcus. Morcus, right? Really? He pronounces it like Morcus, but his name is Marcus. I pronounce it. It's either Marcus or yeah, it's Marcus. He says his name like Morcus. He may have like an accent or something. That might be why. You may know him from Avatar. That's the only reason. So, Sam Worthington, he was in this movie because he came along from Avatar. That was after Avatar released. He did a great job in Avatar. I haven't really watched much of Avatar, so yeah, he was pretty good for that. But the part where Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't in this movie, because back then, this was around when Arnold became the governor of Oh, where was it? Like, wait, he was the guy. I forget where the governor. I'm sorry. You guys might be like, how do you not know that? It's hold on. California, I believe. Is that right? California. Hold on. Arnold. Yeah, it's the governor of California. I'm sorry. I thought he was the governor of California. I wasn't sure. But I knew he was the governor of somewhere. So, yeah. I know he was the governor of California. Okay. So, since he wasn't in this movie, they did a scene where he shows up. But it's a bodybuilder stunt double, technically. And it's good for its time. Back then in 2009, it was good for that time. But now, oh my gosh, it looks so bad. It looks like a cartoon character. That's how bad the CGI on his face looked. You know, like those face swap apps, how they sometimes look good and sometimes they don't. This is a face app. This looks like a face app that was not very good. Like, it's not very good at all. Maybe like the face swaps like on Snapchat. That's how bad it looked. It looked like a cartoon face. It looked so bad. I remember seeing it, I was like nodding my head at first, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh gosh, that looks so bad. It just didn't look good. You know what I mean? But, yeah, it just didn't look good. You know what I mean? So, just didn't look good. Yeah. So, for this, all I gotta say is, it's a good movie, but could have been better. It was a good movie, but it could have had more potential. It's not terrible. Alright, so, coming in second place, Terminator Judgment Day. Judgment Day was, it was such an amazing sequel. Judgment Day, still one of my favorite movies. Judgment Day was awesome. It was an awesome movie. The action was great. Everything was great. All of it. It was just amazing. I was amazed by the effects in 1990s effects for Terminator 2. I love that movie. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, recommend it. You gotta check it out. I can't even say much about it because it was just so good. I have nothing bad to say about Terminator 2. It was one of my favorite movies, and it still is to this day. I love Terminator 2. It'll always be one of my favorite movies. For now. For now and forever. Okay? Alright, so, coming in first place, Terminator 3. You guys may be like, how is Terminator 3 your favorite movie? Well, in my opinion, I didn't think Terminator 3 was bad. I got a regular copy of it, because it's my favorite movie. My favorite Terminator movie. I mean, it was one of my favorite movies, yeah. All the Terminator movies are one of my favorite movies. Except the 5th one. So, this movie, in all, was really good. I loved Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. If you guys didn't like it, it's perfectly fine. I honestly enjoyed this movie. I really enjoyed it. There was a really catchy song at the end called, like, Going Down. And it was, it's a really good song. It's in the credits. If you haven't heard it, just fast forward the regular credits, for the regular Terminator song, and then a little bit, and then press play, and then you'll find it. It's not hard to find. It's in the credits. But in all, this movie was great. I love the TX, how they added a girl Terminator this time. That was pretty interesting. It was just amazing. I was amazed by this movie. I love Terminator 3 to this day. John Connor, in my opinion, was not terrible in this movie. He's not my favorite actor to play John Connor. Edward Furlong, in my opinion, is still the best John Connor. He's maybe about, I don't know, this guy's maybe like the 3rd best John Connor. The worst John Connor, not, was he the 3rd best? Let me think about that. Yeah, he's the third best. Yeah. The fourth, the least best. The worst one was, that guy who played him in, Terminator Genesis. He was so bad. I saw him in another movie. I saw him in, what was it called? Death Race, yeah. He played a cop in that movie. But, in all, this movie, I loved it. I love this movie. It was a fantastic movie. I recommend watching it. It's an amazing movie. If you have not seen it, check it out. It's fantastic. Alright. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment below, and why not subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.